identifying our core values was the first thing that we did with Ryan. And those are incredible. And you'll see all that on our website. And I think that's what got us on Dirty Jobs. It was because of the work that we had done with you on building a brand recognition. And I talk about that all the time now. Hey, you need to get out there and you need to create your brand. You need people to know what you're about. And again, for us, it wasn't about sales. It was about our culture, our employees, right? And I credit you to that, Ryan. You and your company have helped us so much identify that and really and live to that and set that example. And that's what's got us on Dirty Jobs, for sure.
Today's guest is a personal friend of mine, someone that I've worked with for almost half a decade now, and it has been such an honor to see his business transform after implementing our process, the corporate hiring system, but also just being able to see his passion that he has for the industry and for the next generation of leaders. He is incredibly passionate about training the next generation, which if you know anything about the construction industry, they are struggling to bring the next generation in. And he has developed training programs, got them accredited, works with industry leaders, industry associations, and he's just really making a dent in the industry and helping transform it for the next generation. Jack Nix is the COO of Shelby Erectors, and I cannot wait for you to hear his story. Hey, Jack, welcome to the show.
Hey, Ryan, thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for accepting. You know, we've known each other for going on almost 5 years now. We've worked together for quite a while, but not everybody listening to the show is going to know who Shelby Erectors is, what you do, or heck, they might not even know your industry exists. So go ahead and take a minute or two and just tell us a little bit about your background, how you got started in this, and what Shelby Erectors does.
So my name's Jack Nix. I am currently the Chief Operations Officer for Shelby Erectors, which is a company owned by my wife. She is the president and CEO of the company, and I am the construction operations guy. I've been in the industry since 1985. The bottom line is I'm an iron worker. I'm a blue collar guy. I graduated from high school, went straight into the trades as an iron worker, and specifically right now we specialize in rebar and metal bridge decking throughout the state of Florida. Our focus is highway transportation work. We are really bridge builders. So I've been in the industry for quite a long time.
That's cool. Yeah. I remember when we first met, you were working on some really cool infrastructure projects. I mean, you still do today, but some real big, put you on the map kind of projects. And one of the things that I learned very quickly about not just you, but everyone on your team is how passionate you are about the work that you do. Even though it gets covered up by concrete when it's done, you guys are so passionate and so in love with the kind of work that you do. It's pretty incredible.
That's one of the jokes around here is everything we do gets covered up. Nobody ever gets to see it, but we all love it. There's a passion here. I'm very passionate about what we do. This industry has been extremely good to me. I got into this industry by mistake. I'll talk about that a little later, but you know, it's hard work. It's work that you can be proud of. The structures that we build are pretty incredible. Some of them are run-of-the-mill bridges. And when I say that, people are like, run-of-the-mill bridge? No, you build bridges. That's crazy. And I go, yeah, but if you've been doing it your whole life, you know, there's your typical bridges. And then there's the stuff that you look at and you go, yeah, we built that. So recently we did the I-4 project with 162 bridges on it, which was incredible over 6 to 7 years. That was a huge project for us. You know, we built bridges like 17th Street Causeway in Fort Lauderdale and the bridges over in Tampa. So like I said, we're all over the state, and some of the structures we build are pretty incredible.
And like I said, there's just this pride that comes with it. Like I see it from your team. And when we met all those years ago, there was a real challenge to get people to join your team. And it wasn't just a Shelby Erectors thing. It was an industry-wide issue. It has been for a long time, still continues to be. But we've made some really great strides over the last few years. And there's been a lot of changes over at Shelby Erectors. And in fact, I'm going to save this for a few minutes from now. But you guys got really a lot of publicity a couple of years ago, which was amazing for this. Tell me a little bit about the journey that you've gone through while you've been implementing the corporate hiring system, working with Core Matters. What changes have you seen and what things have really worked out well for you?
Yeah. So when you and I met and we got together, we had just acquired that I-4 project, or we were already on it, but we were ramping up and needed to go. And I had grown the company through my methods and everything to about 150 employees, but we were going to need another 50 plus employees over the course of the next 6 to 9 months. And we were kind of hitting a wall. We weren't getting anywhere, and we were losing as many as we were adding. So we were struggling to figure out how to correct that. My method before I met Ryan and Core Matters was to throw mud on the wall. If you could breathe and you said you wanted to try this, I'd give you an opportunity to give you a job. We put you out there, and the failure rate was very high because we didn't qualify anybody. Then I met Ryan, and he comes to me with this crazy idea of pre-qualifying guys. And I go, wait a second, these are iron workers. These are rod busters. What do you mean pre-qualified? After listening, I was like, well, I got to try something new. We'll give it a shot. And sure as hell, we implemented the policies and the procedures and everything that came with that, applicant tracking systems. I never heard of such a thing. And next thing, we're hiring and we're getting people to stick. We're not having as much turnover. We ended up picking up the extra 50 employees that we needed over the next 90 to 120 days, which was huge. And then we were turning over around 600 employees a year at that 150 to 200 employee level, and got it down to about 250 a year, which was incredible. I mean, think of all the money we were spending on training and just going through the hiring processes with all those applicants and people we were dealing with. It was shocking to me that you could pre-qualify these guys. I mean, we were doing things besides asking a lot of questions and doing interviews, we were putting through integrity testing before our hiring process would take about an hour to say, yep, here's your job offer, let's go to work. And then we started taking 2 to 3 days, which I never thought would work, but it really has. It's really changed the company and the way we do things and the quality of the people we bring in, not quantity. So that's what we've been able to do. And I'm real proud of what we do now. And now we're not having problems hiring people.
It's also made some big changes for you and Jen at the owner level. Leaders have gone through a bunch of things, and there's really been a shift in the requirements and the demand on your time as well. Can you speak to that for a minute? Like what you saw happen there?
That was the other thing. At that point in time, I was working personally 70, 80 hours every week, and that was just normal. I was working 12-hour days, 6 days a week. One of the conversations that I had with Ryan is that I needed to get some of my life back. I enjoyed what I was doing, but I had no time for personal time. Over the course of the last 4 years now, I'm currently working 40 hours or even less on certain weeks, and it almost feels like I'm on vacation. So I'm real happy with where I'm at. I think a lot of business owners that come from the field like I did do that. You feel like you're the guy, you're the one that gets it done. That's how you did it in the field. You have your hands at everything, and you're not really good at delegating. Mm-hmm. As much as I try to say I'm not a micromanager, I'm not, but I always had my hands in everything. I wanted to make the decisions, and I've had to learn how to delegate and let people do their job and to hold them accountable at the same time. But it's given me my life back, and I'm really pleased with where I am personally for myself and Jennifer.
Well, and that's freed you up too to work on some passion projects, because I know you're involved in an industry association. I'd love to hear a little bit about that because you're in leadership there. You're at the forefront of robotics in the industry, and that's a passion project for you there. I know that there are just so many things that you've had your time freed up for. I'd love to hear about some of these exciting things that you have going on, even training programs that you've been involved in.
Yeah, so that's what happened when I started getting more free time. Then I was able to focus on what you call the passion project, but things that I've always wanted to do, but never seemed to be able to find the time to do them. So one is our apprenticeship program. So we're an open shop company, non-union, but we have a completely DOL approved apprenticeship program for reinforcing ironworkers. It's a 2-year program, 4,000 man hours. We are using NCR curriculum for the teaching side of it and doing the on-the-job training. And that was a passion project. I feel strongly that the trades are really still good for people, but this generation and generations prior, they need to learn. They need to learn the right way. And they need to not just do this because I said so, but really understand why and the hows. That makes them a better iron worker, makes them a more qualified employee, which makes them a safer employee, a more productive employee. And it gives them a career, not just a job, right? So I'm real proud of our apprenticeship program. And the fact that it's Department of Labor approved is fantastic. So we can compete. I would put my training program up against any unionized program. I think my guys are just as good as they are. And I'm not an anti-union, but where we work is a right to work state. Union and non-union, just how you source your labor, right? Otherwise, we're all iron workers. We're all in the same industry together. And that's one of the things I like to preach and talk about. We're all in this together. It's just a difference of opinion on how you source that and how you train. And we are an example that you can train open shop.
Yeah. Yeah. And your apprenticeship program, you guys even are working with the VA on some things to help veterans that are in career transition or leaving one of the armed services and being able to come learn a new trade, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So our apprenticeship program is tied in. We're tied in with the VA. And so we can offer veterans the opportunity to use their GI Bill once they come into our apprenticeship program. That counts as their education. They get their GI Bill benefits while they're going through our apprenticeship program. So it's a really good deal for the veterans and a good deal for us. And as a company, we support our veterans. We want to be there to give them something that they can do once they get out of the military. And not for nothing, those guys come out of their trained and team environments, and that's exactly what this is. So it's really a good fit for both. And yeah, we're real proud to be able to offer that and be able to help them and let them have the avenue to use their GI Bill benefits and get started in a new career.
That's amazing. And I've seen the transformation of that apprenticeship program over the last few years and what you've really done to create an amazing program, but also get support from the DOL, from the VA. I mean, this is a legitimate accredited apprenticeship program. You're doing some great things with that. So, and training is a real passion project for you as well. I know it is because you're very involved in an industry association, going to be the next president of that association, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And they're very involved in training. So talk to me a little bit about what you got going on there.
Yeah, so I've been a board member for the Steel Erectors Association of America, which is, we call it SEAA, S-E-A-A, for the last 12 and 15 years. I'm currently the president-elect, and I will take my term as president this coming April. And I'm extremely proud to be a part of that organization. The apprenticeship program I talked about was really, it had always been a dream of mine. But by being part of that organization, they taught me about NCCER and the curriculums that were available. And our master trainer for our program is through SEAA. So that's how we got to where we're at, by joining that association, being involved in that association, and then taking the initiative to set up this reinforcing ironworker program. I've been involved with NCCR in updating their curriculum. I've been involved with SEAA, like I said, as the incoming president. So yeah, it's an outstanding organization. I encourage anybody that's in this industry to find a trade organization that is in what you do and get involved. There's so much information to be gained from that. So many networking opportunities, so many ways to improve yourself and your company. It's absolutely incredible. So.
Now, I've seen the value that comes from that for you, just the relationships that you have, but access to resources too. Because what's really cool about what SEAA is doing is the opportunity to give you access to these training programs, not just through NCCR, but I know there's other ones that you guys are working on as well, being able to do advocacy for the industry, really supporting the members in this recruiting issue that has plagued the industry for so long. There's just so many valuable things. But it got me thinking too. So I mentioned it, I alluded to it a little bit earlier, but not only are you focused on training the next generation, but you're also, one of your passion projects too, is looking at tools to help overcome some of the labor shortage issues, things that are happening in the industry that are really going to transform the industry over time, like robotics. Tell me a little bit about the robotics program that you're a part of.
Yeah, so we are an integration partner with...
Stop turning away work, burning out your team, and working so hard. Learn about the proven process that businesses everywhere are using to save time, save money, and hire all the people they need. We'll train your team to implement and run this process in-house so you can grow as fast as you want. Book a call with our team at corematters.com.
Advanced Construction Robotics, who manufactures and runs rebar tying robotics called TieBot. And we were one of the first users of that product. We were the only user so far in the state of Florida to use that. So we've been running those robotics now for 3.5, going almost on 4 years with that. And in that also is now the next generation of robotics, which is called IronBot, where we actually are able to place rebar on bridge decks, and then we come behind it and tie it, and really cutting down the amount of labor, manual labor, that it takes to do these very hard, physically intensive jobs. So it's been outstanding partnership. We're extremely proud to be on the leading edge of bringing robotics into rebar construction. And so that is a passion project of mine.
Yeah.
I saw an article on it years ago in E&R, and I just kept my eye on it. It was actually a project that I was thinking about that we were bidding. I was like, man, I wonder where they are with that technology. And just by chance, they came to my office, showed up with a demo trailer. I wasn't there. I live in Key Largo. And they called me up and said, you might want to take a look at this thing. I said, I really do, but I'm not there. And they sure as hell, they drove to Key Largo to my house, brought their demo trailer, and they gave me a demo right in the street in front of my house in Key Largo. That was the beginning of our relationship with TieBot and what we've been doing with them. And so we're a partner with them. We work with them on the technology. We work on them on making improvements. And we're one of their heavy end users, biggest users right now of their product. And we're constantly looking for projects that would be a good fit for this technology. I'm extremely proud of it.
Yeah, and I've seen it too. One of the things that I've always heard people say is, robotics is just taking in more work away from the workers. And the truth is, construction industry, it doesn't matter if you're rebar, ironwork, or just digging ditches. There are less and less people coming into this industry. And what I see the robotics doing is taking some of that back-breaking, laborious, I don't want to call it unskilled, but not as skilled work, that back-breaking work, so that the people that are in the industry can work on more of the skilled things, be able to do the things that only human beings can do, because robots are never going to replace everybody, especially in construction. It's not going to happen in my lifetime. But for some of these things, like the placing on a bridge deck, I've seen the guys do that. It's crazy. Not only the team effort that's involved, but the physical dexterity that's involved in everything else. And one of the ways I learned about that is you were featured on a TV show. And part of it was some of the work we've done together in helping market and promote Shelby Erectors as an employer of choice. You got picked up, what was it? It was 2022, I believe, that you were on there. The relaunch of a show that probably most of our listeners have heard of. Talk about that for a minute. What was that experience like?
We were actually the premiere episode of The Return of Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. That show had been off the air for many years, for several years, and they decided they were going to bring it back. It's an interesting story because we didn't go looking for them. They came and found us. And how they did that is through a search on the internet. Mike Rowe had decided they wanted to do some shows on infrastructure, and he knew a little bit about the steel work. And so he put some researchers out there to go find a good fit for an episode on rebar installation and infrastructure. And when they did their Google searches, or however they searched it, they said our name came up. I think it was the number 2 on the search list. As soon as they went to our website and saw what we were about, they said, this is a perfect fit. And then they got in touch with me. The funny part about that story is I got this phone call, and the person actually got a hold of me, which is unusual because I don't usually answer the phone for people that aren't in my phone these days. If they leave a message, I would call them back. But I got a phone call, and then they got me on the phone, and we started talking. And this young lady starts talking to me about, would I be interested in doing a show on cable television? They don't tell you the name of the show. Matter of fact, the company that contacted me is called School of Humans, so you wouldn't even know what they're doing. So I'm like, hey, is this one of those deals where you want to do an advertising piece on my company and I got to support it with advertising dollars, or I got to pay for it? And she starts laughing at me. And I said, no, I get that all the time with these magazines want to do article. And, oh, but they want you to pay for it. And I'm like, no, I don't. So she laughed. She said, no, that's not what this is at all. And gave me some more information. And I said, that sounds like something we would do. So about, I don't know, after a couple of other meetings, we were in a production meeting, maybe 20 days before the actual shooting of the show. They keep talking and they keep bringing up this guy, Mike. And I finally, in the middle of the meeting, I go, who's Mike? You guys keep talking about this guy, Mike. And they go, oh, this is Mike Rowe, from Dirty Jobs. And I go, this is the show we're going to do? And they go, yeah. And my jaw dropped. I looked back over at my wife and I go, oh shit, this is like a real show. This isn't some off the books cable show that nobody's ever going to see. This is like the real deal. So super excited, super blessed to be able to do that show with Mike. The show was fantastic. They liked it so much, they made it the premiere episode. Out of an hour-long episode, we were the 40 minutes of it. So it was really good. We got a lot of compliments on it. It really showed our industry in a great light. And for those of you that want to know, Mike Rowe is the real deal. That guy is exactly what you think he is. He is down to earth, really, really, really good dude. And we had a great time. The show is completely unscripted. You come, he shows up, and we go to work.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And so that's the way it went down. And it was fantastic. And we're really proud of that.
One of the things I love about that story so much is that this wasn't just you saying, oh, Shelby Erectors is great and we're out there and getting noticed. There was a third party that came out. They found you, they pursued you, and they said, no, we want to highlight Shelby Erectors because of the amazing work you're doing, the amazing leadership team you have, and the incredible team that you've built and continue to build. So tell me, as we wrap up here, what is it what's the next big project for you? What's the next thing you're working on? I know that you've really put a focus on quality, emphasized quality for building your team. It's not just a numbers game anymore like it used to be. Like, what's happening with Shelby Erectors? Where are you guys going?
Before I get to that, I want to put something out there for you guys that are listening. Prior to meeting Ryan in Core Matters, our website was a blank page. We didn't have a web presence. Okay. It was through the working with him, the discussions on, hey, we really should have a website. And our website, if you ever go to it, is not about getting work. Matter of fact, it's not about that at all. Our website is strictly about attracting employees. Okay. Attracting people that want to come to work for us. It identifies our core values. Our website talks about the team and what we do. And you don't see hardly anything in there about doing your next project. We competitively bid all of our projects. That's not what that website's about. And when we did that, then we also worked very hard on our branding. And again, this was all new to me. And then branding, shit, I didn't even know what the hell that was. We got into getting stuff out there on YouTube and getting into the industry and really promoting what we believe in, identifying our core values was the first thing that we did with Ryan. And those are incredible. And you'll see all that on our website. And I think that's what got us on Dirty Jobs. It was because of the work that we had done with you on building a brand recognition. And I talk about that all the time now. Hey, you need to get out there and you need to create your brand. You need people to know what you're about. And again, for us, it wasn't about sales. It was about our culture, our employees, right? And I credit you to that, Ryan. You and your company have helped us so much identify that and really and live to that and set that example. And that's what's got us on Dirty Jobs, for sure.
Oh, thank you for that, Jack.
Then as far as the next big project, I'm still working on, my passion is the industry, right? So what do I want to get out of this? What do I want in the future? I feel an obligation to give back to the industry that has given me so much. I'll remind you, I got into this right out of high school. I did not go to college. I'm actually very proud of that. It's something that I probably was ashamed of when I was younger because everybody thought, oh, I needed to go to college. But now I'm extremely proud of it. And I'm extremely proud to tell people you can be successful. Construction is one of those industries where you don't have to go to college to be successful. If you have a good work ethic, you're hardworking, you're driven, you can be successful. I'm proof of that. That's how I've done this. I'm not the brightest guy in the world, but not only do I run and manage a successful construction company, now we're training the future leaders of this. I'm involved in a national organization at the highest level. I spend a lot of time now advocating for the industry. We do career days and career fairs to try to get young people involved in trades. Let them know college is not for everybody. One of the things we say here is earn while you learn. So when you go to college, you pay to go to school. For those of you who don't have parents that can afford to pay that for you, you're taking student loans, you're paying for it, you're getting in debt over the 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
You come out of school and you go to get a job in your industry. And that's great. Find out how many people that doesn't work for, right? How many people that get out of school and then they still don't know what they want to do and they can't find a job in what they thought they wanted to do. Where if you come into construction and you go through it with a company like mine or any other company that's invested in training, find a company that invests in training and you can learn a career. We pay you while you're going to school. For us, you get paid to go through our apprenticeship program. Okay. So you get no debt, you get credentials, which is, I think, equivalent to, I'm not going to say it's equivalent to a college degree. Actually, I take that back because with our apprenticeship program, you can also get college credits through BC, which is Broward College, that go towards your AA, right? And then you can move on to get a bachelor's degree. So it is equivalent to college credits and an education in your industry. You can rise to the top. You can go to whatever level you want. I strongly believe in this industry. So that's my goal now. My goal with SIA, my goal at Shelby Erectors is to give back to the industry. It's been so good to me.
And you don't just say that. I know you do it. I see you do it. In fact, I think it's one of the reasons that you have been able to create such an amazing company is because you're looking beyond just what your company can do. And you're looking at the entire industry and saying, how can I shape and form this and set the example, which is incredible. And it's been such an honor to know you and grow with you, Jack. It's been so cool to see the transformation that's taken place over at Shelby Erectors. For those people listening right now that go, hey, you know what? This Jack guy sounds like a cool guy. I want to know more about what Jack's up to. I want to maybe follow him a little bit and see where he's going in the industry. How do people learn more about Shelby Erectors? If someone wanted to reach out to you, I know you would absolutely talk to them and guide them and give them some direction. How do people do that?
So first of all, you can learn more about our company at shelbyerectors.com. There's a way to contact us through our website. You can see some of the videos that talk about our culture and what we're about and what we do in the industry. I'm on LinkedIn, but I will tell you, I am not a huge social media guy. Okay. So I might check my LinkedIn once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. That's not the best way to get a hold of me or talk to me. It might take me a while to get back to you, but definitely through our website would be the easiest way. Or you can email me. My email address is jacknix@shelbyerectors.com. That's the best way because that goes straight to me.
And I know you've got some new things coming up that we're working on with some more training, some more industry involvement. All that information is on your website as well. You got a news section with all the cool stuff that you guys are working on. Jack, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, it's been such an honor to know and grow with you and just to have you on the show and be able to hear what you're up to and be able to share with our listeners just the amazing things that are happening over at Shelby Erectors. Thank you for being here.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And again, I want to say this. We had a good company prior to meeting Ryan, but in Core Matters. But since we've been working with them over the last 4 or 5 years now, things have changed exponentially. And we've just become such a more solid company that really understands what its values are and where we're going and what we want to do. And I got to credit and thank you for that, Ryan. You helped me so much. And we still work together today on a weekly, monthly basis where we're keeping communication and talking with each other. And Ryan's really one of my mentors, one of the people that's helped me make our company better. So we really appreciate you and what you've done for us.
Thank you, Jack.